That's unfortunately correct. The EU has missed on 2020 biodiversity targets. Now we're talking about the biodiversity 2030 strategy, which again, it has to have targets because I think only what's measured can be implemented. But then let's look a little bit what goes beyond those targets, and it is very important that biodiversity wouldn't go on its own, that it would be implemented strategically in all other areas and contribute heavily to biodiversity loss. So agriculture, energy, transport not only on the land but in the sea, and of course addressing the causes like land degradation, forest use, and etc. Then it all has to go with funding. Funding has, of course, to fund first of all restoration missions, but most importantly that again we return to point number one, what I've mentioned, that we stick consistent with our policies in other policy areas. Only then we can expect that we can reach 2030 targets and have a sufficient strategy which finally can be implemented. To ensure leadership, the best is lead by example. And one of the centerpieces of the Green New Deal is biodiversity strategy. If we start to implement it early, we can bring those goals, which of course are going to be outreaching beyond EU borders, we can bring them to the table in China. And of course, we'll ask for similar things what we're going to be implementing here. It's restoration, it's protection, and most importantly, of course, closing the implementation gap. It's actually so interlinked that it cannot be solved one without solving the other. So first of all, you have to stop biodiversity halt, and only having healthy ecosystems in water, on land, you can build a resilience. So our goal, first of all, is of course to address biodiversity losses, try to restore biodiversity loss, which is still possible to restore, but we are at the tipping point. So it is very important to act quickly. Then only we can expect to fight climate change successfully. Otherwise, all the other means, they won't reach any success, because even if you look at the SDGs, which all UN member states signed on, at the very bottom of it, it's biosphere, which is holding everything. And then only social and economic goals comes afterwards. So it is very important to start from that very solid rock bottom, which can then hold all the climate fight on it. Major plan, of course, it's a biodiversity strategy, which is going to address causes of nature loss. But then it is very important that it would not only focus on environmental portfolio and on environmental issues, but it would be also mirrored in other policy areas like agriculture, transport, energy, or others, so that it would be really implemented and we would be consistent with our strategy. I think what's most unique and charming about the Green Deal, that it's a EU's growth strategy. We never had a green growth strategy which would really combine into itself things like biodiversity, economy, and finance. This is, I think, a move which we all waited quite long, and this is a great time to deliver on it.